I'm not a religious person. If you ask me, the devil's interval, that's the most perfect interval of them all. But here's the weird thing. Those monks, they understood something most bass players still don't. Not theory, not scales, not exercises, and they practiced this magic daily in their chants. They understood how sound lives in the body. Let me show you something before I explain anything. I'm going to hold two notes underneath this entire thing. No chord changes, no tricks. Just listen and notice how your body reacts. Here's one way home feels. Now, watch what happens when home moves. Same scale, different gravity. Home moves again. Nothing changed intellectually, but everything changed emotionally. If you felt that even a little, good. That's not theory. That's your nervous system. The monks gave these feelings names: Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, and so on. The modes. But the monks didn't care about the names. Actually, they stole them from the Greeks. What they cared about was where home lives. The modes are nothing more than the major scale. We're just changing where home lives. The Ionian mode is exactly the same as the major scale. Dorian has the second degree of the major scale as home. Phrygian, the third degree. Lydian, 4. Mixolydian, 5. Aeolian, 6. Locrian, 7. And you might say, who cares about modes? We're just bass players. Let the songwriters worry about this. Well, just wait a minute. Even if you have no wish to write your own songs, there's no mastery if you can't at least write your own parts, and much less enjoyment of the instrument if you can't freely express yourself on it, which I challenge you to do without an intrinsic ability to use the modes in your playing. Modes are another tool in your expressive arsenal. Have you ever been playing along roots, fifths, maybe an occasional third, and you feel a fill coming on, but your fingers freeze? They don't know where to go? Not because you don't know enough notes, but because your body doesn't know where home is. When modes are wired properly, you don't hope a fill works. You expect it to. Same thing with soloing. Freedom replaces hesitation. Music becomes a place you live, not a test you pass. Here's the problem. Most players learn modes intellectually and then expect intuition to magically show up. So they give you boring exercises like play the modes up and down the neck while saying their names. Seriously? That's not hard. It's deadening, slow, brutal, like climbing a mountain with rocks in your backpack. Nobody does it. To actually own modes, practice has to be two things at once: deliberate and emotionally satisfying. Musical enough that you want to do it, focused enough that it rewires you. That's the difference between 10,000 hours and 1,000 hours. So here's what we do. One mode at a time, one backing track designed to stay out of your way, mostly root harmony, with just enough movement to create tension. 32 bars per mode. You just blow over the 7 modes back to back in rapid succession. No bass on the track, you are the bass. I'll demo Mixolydian now. You'll hear notes outside the mode. That's intentional. Modes aren't prisons, they're home bases. So that's Mixolydian, and you get the backing track for all 7 modes. Play it differently every time, improvise, or if you're not up to that stage yet, write a part for each mode and learn it and gradually start improvising different fills. You get the chord changes and the bouncing ball guiding you along. And you probably noticed that I was playing all the way up and down the neck there, which is kind of the point of this challenge, to be able to actually use the modes to generate fills and lines and solos on the fly. So I'm also going to give you the fretboard visualization model that I invented about the time I discovered modes. Looks like this. And so what you have here is how to visualize the fretboard in its entirety for each of these modes. This particular chart is for the Mixolydian segment of the challenge. The numbers in the far left column represent the frets on your bass, 1 through 24. The row along the top represents the open strings on your bass in standard tuning, B, E, A, D, G. Of course, there are also charts for 4-string. And under those open notes, you have the notes on each fret of each string, some in black, some in red. And the red type represents the notes of the Mixolydian mode, starting in F, all the way up the neck. Next we have the colored blocks to the right, and these represent hand and finger positions. These are all 5 finger positions, with the lowest note of each position representing the root note of the mode. So for the one at the very top, Dorian, your position is between those lines from the 1st to the 5th fret. And like I say, you're going to have one of these for each mode. And they allow you to visualize all 7 of these modes across the entire fretboard, and they free you to improvise on command like never before. So all this, the backing track, the chord charts, the fretboard visualizations, all of it is available at my Patreon via the link below this video. Now, let me show you the rest of these modes. And I'm just going to do 16 bars of each to demonstrate. You'll have 32 in the challenge. Here we go. Bang, 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 one after the other. So that's just an amazing workout. It doesn't replace learning songs. It just removes years of confusion about what notes to play. Do this daily, and fills stop being guesses. Solos stop being scary, and the neck stops feeling like a mystery. If that's what you want, the challenge is on my Patreon. Link below. I'll see you in the shed.